Yo soy la mamá de Graviela. Una mamá puede decir muchas cosas bonitas de sus hijos, pero mi hija era mi orgullo. Ella era su sueño, este libro que tengo aquí. Ya se iba a publicar este mes que entra. Ya no lo va a mirar. Iba a terminar su universidad este año también. Era su sueño de ella. Trabajaba, estudiaba, era todo lo que tenía. Su cama estaba llena de libros, dormía en un rincón porque sus libros los tenía arriba. Gaby no era una niña loca, como muchos van a pensar que era, ella no. Ella era una persona bien precavida y para manejar más. Yo nomás no quiero saber que ese hombre no la pudo sacar del carro lleno de llamas. Yo no quiero saber eso. Yo no quiero saber que mi niña sufría allá adentro pidiéndole ayuda y él no le ayudó. Y ahora le está diciendo que fue su culpa y eso no está bien. Se le acabó el futuro a mi hija en sus 23 años. Ella estaba bien feliz porque iba a acabar toda su escuela. Con muchos sacrificios, ella sola pagaba porque no le ayudaban con nada. Una persona bien responsable. Siempre cuidó a sus hermanas cuando estaban chiquitas, siempre. Y siempre ella les decía que querían que todos acabaran su escuela hasta que fueran alguien en la vida. Era el pilar de mi casa. Eso le cayó.
Worked with Gaby for the past year. She was a great person. That morning, I was the opening shift and I called her. She was running late and that was not like her. It worried me because I knew that something had to have happened. She was always on time. She was there before me most of the time. She told me she was on her way. She was having car trouble. So I waited, and after 5 o'clock I knew that something was wrong. I called my manager to call her mom to get her contact information, and we went from there. We'll miss Gaby so much, all of us. She had a big impact in our store. We were like family. She was such a bubbly person, had so much fun for her. I'm gonna miss her in the morning, seeing her happy face.
Kind of like what Mark said that morning. He gave me a call, and almost instantly we knew something was wrong because it was not like her to just not show up to work. So I called her mom, and she didn't know that she never showed up to work. So then we started calling hospitals and everything. No one knew where she was. So her mom finally let us know that it was her, so we let everyone know, and it's definitely not going to be the same without Gaby at work. So she was young, gifted, bright. Yeah, it's undeserving, and she's just gone way too soon.
Gaby was my best friend. She was like my little sister. She always knew what to say. She always knew how to put a smile on my face. I always promised her that whenever she was with me that it was never going to be a bad day. That I was always going to keep her smiling. I promised her that I'd always protect her no matter what, and I didn't care what cost I'd have to go to, that I'd always be there for her because I wanted to take care of her and I wanted to protect her by all means necessary. Even if it means having to sacrifice me, I'd do that for her.
She was my first friend at a community college, and she always knew how to make me feel accepted and loved and valued. Gaby was a champion of justice. She always fought for the disenfranchised despite being one of the most disenfranchised people I know. And she was also one of the most cautious drivers. And whenever I was in the car with her, I felt safe. You know, she was very, very cautious, never had any road rage, very safe. She was kind to other drivers, very aware of their time. And it just hurts to know that someone so valued in the community, someone so hardworking, couldn't fulfill her dreams despite just being a step away. And I really want her to have justice.
It came into my life when I was having one of the hardest times, and it was an accident. Like, we just happened, I met her a year before, and we just happened to be in the same class, and we just got really, really close. And she was one of my best friends, and she was there for me through so much. And I just wanted her, I knew she was going to do amazing things, and that's what I kept telling her. And she was going through a time of doubt, and she didn't realize that she was a light to this world.
I met her in college. She was a really great person. I still remember the first day that I walked into the sociology class and I heard her talk. I definitely knew I wanted to be friends with her. I still can't believe she's gone, but honestly, she was an amazing person, and I can't believe that she's not here anymore. And
she would text me every week, almost every week, how everything is. And she just texted me last Tuesday. And we're supposed to hang out this week. And when I heard the news, it broke my heart. Because someone that checks up on somebody every week should not be gone. I'm a poet. I write a lot of poetry. And Gaby used to make fun of me all the time. She calls me a little punk for writing all this gross poetry. I did write a poem for her, and I would like to read that. The night sky, she gains another star today. One that shines a light that illuminates all below, she twinkles a dance, one of love, one of passion, one of peace, one of beauty. My dear Gaby, my heart is broken today. You're one with such grace and caring love that all may mistaken for an angel herself. You just texted me asking how everything is. How are you gonna buy me a new beanbag for my new house? My dear Gaby, I remember when we gallivanted around San Francisco, drinking cocktails on top of a roof overlooking the night sky. Now you're part of that beauty. You are a star. And every night I might glare at your beauty.
Para mí, Gaby siempre fue como una hermana mayor. Me cuidaba y siempre... She never had any issues putting people ahead of her. With me, she was the person that guided me through all of high school. I remember first meeting her in my class for Algebra 2, and I was the only lower classman, and I remember seeing her and herself full of energy that I already knew that I had a connection with her. She never said no to anybody. Even if it was asking for help in their homework, she would put others before herself. She was never the kind of person that would say no to anybody. No matter how swamped with work she was, no matter how busy she always helped everyone. For me, she was my sister. She always told me about her family at home and how much she did. And for me, I always saw her as someone que fue muy valiente, una mujer que sabía lo que quería de la vida. Ella tenía sueños y no tenía nada que le podía parar. Siempre decía que sí se puede.
I first remember meeting Gaby when I went to Andrew Hill. I was a transfer student and she noticed I was alone and by myself. And she came up and talked to me out of nowhere, made me feel so welcome. She was just so bubbly and full of life and humble and sweet. We went to De Anza together and took a couple classes, and I remember she would always call me and check in on me and text me and give me advice, and she would motivate me. She was my biggest motivation and inspiration when I felt discouraged, and I would talk to her about wanting to do music. And I remember one time on the phone she had told me, you know, you have to be ambitious, you have to go for it. It doesn't matter what people think of you, what you look like. You just have to go out there and do it. And I will always remember her words and be so grateful and appreciative at the fact that I got a chance to meet her and be around her, because she was that person that she just would light up anything that she walked into. But I know that everything happens for a reason, and she is going to get justice. We will get justice for Gaby.
I met Gaby at a journalism symposium at City College in San Francisco, and the first thing when I heard is like, I'm from Los Baños, like all proud. I'm like, girl, I'm from Fresno, you know, and we clicked because we were both from like a place that people don't brag they're from, and we were both kind of proud of Central Valley. And when she told me that she commuted every day, I'm like, quédate en mi casa, just stay at my house. I don't want you to be driving, especially after I found out that she's a new driver. So I took Gaby under my wing, like my little sister, because I don't have my family with me. And she knew how passionate I was about the film industry and how I was going to go to Sundance. And I got her to get admitted to Sundance Film Festival this past year to go with me. She was passionate about making films with me, and she was passionate about everything. Every time that something happened at home with her family, she called me, and she called me her big sister, her big, you know, hermana, and I took that with pride. She was my little sister. She needed food, she needed money, like, come to my house. I lived down the street. We even did Quran studies, and she came to my house, like, so humbly. Even though she wasn't religious, she was willing to open the Quran and read a few verses. And just to know she's gone, it kills me, because she didn't deserve it. Like, I believe that everyone that dies under 40, according to the Quran and my faith, goes to heaven. And I know she's in heaven, but I think she went too early. And I know she's looking at us and she's proud of us for doing this. Some of us came from the Bay Area, from LA, from everywhere, and it shows how passionate we're about Gaby. And we're gonna make justice, because this wasn't no accident. And Gaby was a fighter for justice. We're gonna make justice, Gaby. And I know you're proud of us and you're smiling. We miss you and we love you, Gaby.